Hello, good evening, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. Okay. I wanted to talk about two stories, okay? One in Memphis and one in Houston that I found extremely interesting, s- yet sick all at the same time. And this first story is from out of Memphis, where a 24-year-old man, has been charged with unaliving after his mother's body is found in the backyard. Which is sick on a whole nother level. I looked at his background and I saw where sometime back he had been charged with domestic violence. Now they say he's 24, he look all of 50 something. It says a man was arrested and charged with unaliving after his mother's body was discovered in the backyard of a Peppermill Lane home. Tevon Rose is charged with first degree unaliving, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and resisting official detention. It says his bond has not been set. So that means he unalived his mother, then no telling what he did to the corpse after. Probably cut it up or something and then tried to clean up evidence, buried it in the backyard, and then when the police got there, he tried to fight the police and they tore his ass out the frame. He may get up, I don't know. I don't know what those judges gonna do. It would appear to me that he would not even qualify for a bond, but this is Tennessee, okay? It says neighbors say that the shocking crime has been hard for them to process. Throughout Sunday night, blue lights illuminated a normally quiet Peppermill Lane um, home in southeast Shelby County. She said, I just come home to this morning, neighbor Peggy says. I've been out of town for the last 10 days, and this is what I come home to. For most of Monday morning, the crime scene was still very active. A reporter on the scene says that around 11:30 a.m., a team with the medical examiner's office left with what appeared to be a body and other evidence from the backyard. For Miss Moore, it's difficult. It's been difficult for her to accept that the victim is her neighbor. She would always get with the neighbors, her family and friends to come over. Moore says we would just sit down and have a girls' day out in the backyard. In addition to the go get togethers, Moore said that she and the victim were close for other reasons. I have a disabled son, and that's what bonded us together, says her neighbor. The neighbor says that the victim's son is unstable and had threatened his mother more than once. She went through a lot with him. She went through a lot with him. Moore says he's schizophrenic. She would barricade herself in her house sometimes. Tevin is scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday.
The dynamics of domestic violence can exist among family members like a parent and a child. As we told you yesterday, a Memphis man was booked and charged with murdering his own mother, who's now been identified as Rochelle Hill, before allegedly trying to get rid of her remains in a wooded area. This morning, Tevon Rose was in court for the first time. WRG's Sharita Patterson was there when the defendant delivered his profane response to the charges.
The Memphis man seen smiling in his mugshot after he was charged with murdering his own mother had different facial expressions during his arraignment Tuesday. At times, Tevon Rose was either shaking his head or rolling his eyes as the judge read aloud the 3 felonies and 1 misdemeanor the 24-year-old will have to answer to: murder, tampering with evidence, resisting arrest, and abuse of a corpse are the charges he's facing. Rose, with a strong reaction to the last offense, responding with profanity. The judge telling Rose this could be a capital case, meaning he could be sentenced to death if he's found guilty. Rose learned he was being held with no bond and would be appointed a public defender. This led to more profanity. Rose, who was escorted into court solo without other inmates nearby, was closely watched by two deputies. The seriousness of what he's accused of had neighbors watching the day before as an investigation at the Peppermill Lane home he shared with his mother stretched on for hours. Sadly, his mother's body was discovered in a wooded area behind a fence in the home's backyard. Detectives collected evidence while the victim's body was removed. Neighbors who looked on were in total shock.
Sad. It's sad.
Back here in court, Rose with a final facial expression before he was finally escorted out. Rose, who responded to the judge with quite a few expletives, was in and out in a matter of moments. Bond has been denied. He is set to appear back in court Wednesday. We'll keep you updated. Reporting for your news leader inside the CJC, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Now, when Rose returns to court Wednesday, he is scheduled to have a bail review hearing. Court records also indicate a mental health evaluation has been ordered.
In the past, he'd been charged with stalking, intimidation, vandalism, and trespassing stemming from incidents that occurred in 2019. Okay, so he's just he's mentally ill, and I get to wondering what can be done? What can be done about when these parents have mentally ill children? I don't know if they get checks for him. He old. Okay, he 24 years old. I don't know if she get a caretaker's check, but at 24 years old, can't they send him somewhere? I'm sure he's getting a check or something. Okay, he had sense enough to go stalk. He was a violent type person, stalking and all of that types of behavior as it relates to other people. So she knew he was violent. I mean, just because vandalism and all that, he was just violent. So with that being her child, and he's 24 years old, I wonder why she felt like she had to let him stay in the house. Anytime you're barricading yourself into your house, it's time to let your kids get on somewhere, okay? If you are afraid of your children, they should not even be around you. That means they have exerted some types of violent behavior. I know what they're saying that he's, schizophrenic, but I'm sure he's getting some type of check. He take his check and go get him a damn apartment, okay? You care enough about your child, take him, tell him I got you picked you up some stuff from the yard sale, get him a apartment way in Arkansas, in the deep parts of Arkansas, so you won't have to see him that much, especially if he's violent. Arkansas begging for people to move over there. But at the same time, when they're crazy like that, I mean, he just probably would have walked from Arkansas, right? So it's very unfortunate, that that you have these types of, and I know as parents we love our children, but I would never put up with a child. As much as I love my kids, I would never put up with a child that I'm afraid of. Okay. I don't care how mentally unstable they are. You call the folks and have them sent to the nut house and help them to get an apartment, right? But like I said, we see in the past with past charges, he exuded, he exerted, okay, violent type behaviors, even with other people, okay, vandalism, stalking, all of that type, trespassing, all of that type of stuff. So it's very unfortunate. I hate that so bad, but hey, I found that interesting. And he grinning like a chess cat. I wonder if he's really mentally ill like that. Some of these people that say they're mentally ill, yeah, he is something wrong with him. Okay. It's definitely something wrong with him. But it's sad. It's a lot of people that are mentally ill, but they are just as loving and kind as they can be, right? They want to be loved and all of that. So it's just unfortunate that I don't understand how people have become so barbaric because he's not the only mentally ill person in the world. There have been mentally ill people around before this little twerp was born. And he was born in, I believe, in 2000. And so with him being born in 2000, I mean, I've seen, challenge people my whole life. And I've never seen the type of demonic behavior that I've been seeing as of lately. I don't know what it is that is going on, but a lot of these mentally challenged people are a different type of mentally ill. Okay, it's a different kind, and it's so sad, and I hate that for his mother. But I'm thinking, what can be done? When you have children and you scared of them, and that you lock it, you a prisoner in your own home. At 24 years old, is she responsible for it? I'm sure. Is she getting a check for it? Give him his check and push on. Okay. Um, you know, uh, if he's mentally ill, to keep his check and go get him an apartment. And keep him. You know, um, just make sure you pay his rent and stuff if you're the overseer of the check. But something I just can't understand how people keep violent people around them. They scared to death of them. Just because it's your child don't mean that they can sentence you to a death sentence. I mean, especially at 24 years old. So, hey, that's very unfortunate. Um, I also saw in the news, okay, down in Houston, Texas, okay, where and rest in peace to the lady from out of Memphis. I hate that she brought a child into the world and gave birth to a child that unfortunately took her out of this world. And what's so sad is you hear people say, well, that's her child. You don't turn your back on your child. I'm sure she heard that a lot. I've heard people say it. Unfortunately, when people have had violent children, you know, well, he violent, knocking all her teeth out of her head. Because, see, sometimes people are so twisted. They be wanting to see that people hitting you and stuff like that. um little Junebug, he be knocking her toofuses out of her head, and folks want to gossip about it. You put now you one of the mothers that say, I love my child, but he's not gonna be hitting on me. I don't want to have to kill him. Okay, because I probably would have been did that. If he was my child, I would have been laid his ass down. Okay, permanently. I brought him in, and I would have went ahead and it's time for him to go back wherever he came from. Okay, all right. I brought him in, and he gone on somewhere because I took him on up out of here. Okay, but people, unfortunately, that's what people do, and I know as parents, we love them and we feel like we have to nurture them, but you don't have to put up with um this type of behavior where you're barricading yourself in your room. The child is making you a prisoner. I don't care if he is mentally ill. That's what I'm saying. What could be done about this when they're mentally ill and violent like that? Can they be put in some type of home? Unfortunately, this lady has lost her life, and I hate that so bad. Okay. Anyways, I saw another story down in Houston, Texas. Okay. It says 3-year-old found in tow vehicle while mother was drinking inside of a Houston nightclub. Okay. It says a woman has been charged with endangering child after 3-year-old was found inside a towed car while she was drinking at a Houston nightclub. It says the incident happened at the club in the 2400 block of Wheeler Avenue. Court documents reveal that 29-year-old Brandy Rochelle Brown's illegally parked vehicle was towed with her 3-year-old child still inside, later discovered by the tow company. Her bond was only set at $7,500. Be quiet, be quiet. So you trying to tell me that this lady right here down in Houston, Texas, leaves her 3-year-old baby in a car while she goes and get her drink on inside of a club, illegal to park. She want to get her drink on so bad she illegally parks and leave her 3-year-old baby in the car, and the car is towed, and they only give her a $7,500 bond. Y'all, what is this world coming to? What is this world coming to where people feel like, I'm talking about as babies? I ain't talking about no overgrown Negroes that's barricading you in your room, okay, that's violent to you. I'm talking about innocent babies that people are just mishandling their children. They're just mishandling their children, and then they only give her a $7,500 bond, which means she got out for $750. That child could have been kidnapped. Anything could have happened as it relates to the towing company. You don't ever know who they are. And it's so sad. I'm so happy that the towing companies like to steal, because that's what they do. They steal. That's how they was able to see that baby was back there, because they likes to, when they tow your car, they go through your car to see if you got any valuables, and they steals. So one night I woke up, because I be having insomnia. Okay, I woke up, and it seemed like every time I wake up, I'll go and just stand and look out of a window. Darkest night, I don't know, it's just a weird thing for me. I see a car. I see I'm standing looking out the window. Must have been 2 o'clock in the morning. And I see a tow truck stop directly in front of the living room window. Okay. Directly in front of the living room window. And, but everybody on the street is asleep. I'm standing looking. As a matter of fact, it was one of my old phones. I took pictures. I can't find that phone. And they jump out, the towing people jump out of the car and just start going through the car, open the trunk up, seeing what they got in the trunk, just going through the car. They got their flashlight, just going through the car. Why would they stop on a random street, a car that they had towed, on the back of that tower, and start just going through the car trying to see what they can find? They lifted the trunk up, and I could see them going through stuff. I said, ain't this some shit? I started taking pictures of it. I don't know where that phone is. So thank God that the people that have towing companies, the majority of them are thieves. Okay. Because if they had not been, I'm sure that's what it was. They went to see what was in the car that they could take, and they happened to find the baby. Because if they had let the windows up, the baby, and just locked the car up as they should have did, that baby could have suffocated. Okay, so there's always a ram in the bush, right? Anyways, this is sad. All of it is sad, all the way across the board. Okay, it's sad all the way across the board, that this lady only get a $7,500 bond, and I'm sure that the baby going right back to that toxicity. What mother, what real mother, parks her car to go into a bar and leave her 3-year-old baby in the car? Okay, while she go get her damn drink on, and just from looking at it, it looks like she does more than drink. Okay, she might be getting her snout on, as the young people say. She's snouting. Okay, she snouts. Anyways, you guys, hey, I wanted to talk about that. Y'all, this is something to think about. Stuff like this, we need to talk about this more, so that we can bring more attention to stuff like this, because this is unacceptable. Okay, it's unacceptable. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.